Oh, I got my hand over the phone again. All right. I'm live. Try and get in the middle here. Where's the middle? There we go. Wow. So the hydro was out last night. Or this morning when I got in. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Uh-oh. What did I do? Trying to adjust this. Okay. I don't think I did any better. There we go. No, that's better. I like it. Yeah, the hydro was out last night. Oh, hi, I see you there. Thank you for being on. I know 5 o'clock in the morning is pretty early for some people, but I have had people on in the past, so it's amazing. People are up at all hours. Could do one at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm amazed when there's people on. Anyways, so thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Uh, Anyways, yes, so I'm doing this video now because the hydro was out this morning and it came back on sometime while I was sleeping. Perspective. It's so funny. I talked about perspective yesterday because yesterday morning, and then I went to work last night and I had to put some things into perspective for myself. So basically, I've had in the past a foreman say, he was going to split me up with my partner, and the reason was because there was two guys working, well, actually 3 guys working together, and he said he knew there was a problem. He just didn't know where. And so he told me if he knew that I wouldn't have a problem with the people, because I get along with pretty much everybody. So he said he was going to put me in with these 3 workers to see where the problem was. And it didn't take long. I worked with them for, probably a quarter of the day. And he had told me, the 2 guys said the one guy was the problem. The one guy said the 2 guys were the problem, kind of thing. So it didn't take me long. And I was working with the 3 of them, and I could see the one guy was the problem. And, he just had a terrible attitude and, just kind of was saying things that were negative all the time. And it bothered the other 2 guys. Their work wasn't good enough. And, they should do things this way because what they were doing wasn't going to work or whatever. It was just silly things. And, yeah, so I was told, for that reason, I was going to go work with them. And the reason I'm telling you this whole story is because at that time, I trusted my foreman, and when he came to me and asked me about the situation, I told him this is what's going on. I said, and he's like, okay, I'm going to move that guy. So he's working by himself then. And everything else is good over there. Yeah. I said, okay. I ended up working with them for about a week. And then I think I ended up going back to what I was doing before. So last night I was told I was being moved from the crew I was on, which I really wanted to be on because it's the work I like to do. And, eventually our crew is now starting to gel quite a bit and just be able to work. Like last night, I said to one guy, he said, wow, we did that. And then we did this. And I said, yeah, we're working like a well-oiled machine. But then I was told later on I was going to be changing crews again. And the reason I was given was because the foreman's only allowed to have 12 journeymen. And we need another person who can work a special machine that the cable goes on. And a couple of nights ago, we have 3, 2 on our crew, 1 on another crew, and none of them were at work that night. So we had nobody to work this machine. So we had to find other work to do. So last night I was told that they were going to bring this other person that from days who was trained to be on the machine to work nights, and they were, had to go on our crew, which means somebody on our crew has to go off the crew. Although technically wouldn't be off the crew completely, you'd still be back on most of the time. And my perception was, why me? My perception was not very good. It was a negative, and I was kind of upset about it. But that doesn't mean that's the reality. The reality is they have too many people on the crew. It doesn't mean they don't want me on the crew. It just means that I have to be on a different crew, even though they can share workers and I can still be on the crew. So I don't know. We'll see. But sometimes, so our perception is not really the reality. Maybe my perception, my negative things that were talking in my ear over here are not the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is they needed to bring this other person on and they had to move somebody. And the reality of the situation, or could be, and or this could be my perception, is maybe they figured, and this is why I told the other story, maybe they figured I was the one that was the most relaxed, laid back, and flexible enough to move from crew to crew and go from whatever and do whatever, and that I'd be okay with it, which I really wasn't, but I am today. Anyway, so our perceptions are not necessarily the reality, especially the negative ones. I mean, the negative ones, they sit there sometimes, myself included, they sit there and they say, oh, the reason this is happening is because, and we will make these scenarios up and they might not even be true. So we got to get down to the truth sometimes, or just relax and not worry about it. So in this case, I could get down to the truth of why it's me, but really it doesn't matter. Not really. I'm just going to do my job and do what they tell me to do. And I'm going to be the laid back, flexible Christine. So I hope this is helpful to you and that you can know, take a good look at what your perception is. Question that. Is that really the reality? And maybe you just need to be laid back, relaxed, and go with the flow. All right. You have a great, whatever it is, wherever you are. For me, it's morning. Goodbye. It's technically afternoon, but I call it morning. All right. Bye.